welcome to Secondary Shorts, a bonus short-form series from the Secondary Heroes podcast that covers what's trending in pop culture, plus what we're watching. It's July 17th, 2020. This is your host, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
Hey guys, it's Prague.
This is Josh.
Oi, oi! I'm wearing shorts. This is DeLorean Wolfgang.
Excellent.
Oi. Thanks.
I figured I'd try to spice it up a little bit, show a little skin on the podcast. If you're
wow.
watching at home, I showed off my shorts.
Oh, you showed
And
off
my-
some hair pants.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm trying to stretch that leg. Never mind. That's not going to happen. All right. Hey, guys. It's been another week, huh?
Another week in quarantine, trapped inside with nothing else to do but to watch stuff.
Well, hey, now that we're in California and we're pretty much, we're definitely inside because they closed everything now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Fantastic.
Indeed.
Yeah, how is it over there in Texas there, Josh?
Honestly, I do not watch the news, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm walking
You're
around.
still willy-nilly going places, no mask, just skipping around.
I mean, I wear a mask, but
It's like, where did everyone go? Oh, all right. Well,
okay.
great. No
Feels
traffic
like I am
today.
Legend over here.
Yeah, everybody's inside going,
Yeah. Banging on the window.
what are you doing outside?
Well, people are actually banging on their windows.
That's the weird part, man.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. That's why I like to watch cat and dog videos all week long.
They're the
Makes me
best.
feel better.
My Instagram Explore page are just cat and dog videos.
Mostly it's for me too.
I'm not allowed to say what mine are because it's
Oh,
not safe for work.
okay.
Wink. Welcome to Secondary Shorts, everybody.
Well,
Excellent.
speaking of not safe for work, well, what have you guys been up to this week? What are you watching that's hot? It's good or bad, maybe.
How about you start, Josh?
All right. So I originally started last week talking about the rain, and
Oh,
I
that's right, the
haven't gone back to
RAIN.
it. Haven't gone back to it.
Okay.
I got distracted by this other show on Netflix called Ragnarok.
Mm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I did hear about this. What is this show about?
So I've seen the first two episodes. It's a It's based in It's a Norwegian film or
Okay.
series. So it's about this kid and his family. They move to this town, and supposedly there's all this mythological stuff that has happened or goes on in this town.
Sounds
And
like Norwegia.
he somehow gets this super strength that he doesn't really know that he has from this old man. And so to me, it seems like it's playing off of the theme of Thor,
Yeah, the original Thor, like
Mhm.
the 1963 comics.
but then a mixture. It kind of almost feels like Twilight too, with some of
Spicy.
the way that they turn
Indeed.
these people turn into some kind of like demon type people or whatever.
What?
So they become possessed. So it's been an interesting show so far.
It's live action, by the way. It's not a cartoon.
No, it's live action. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's well filmed. They show
Okay.
great scenery and everything like that. So I enjoy
Of
seeing
Norwegia.
So-
Yeah.
I've
so,
never
Is it in English or do they have
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
that's subtitles.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Nice.
Like
hard
dark.
But that's the
Yes.
same thing with but I mean they have it to where they talk in English, but
Oh,
if you're
okay.
watching the mouth, you could see
Oh, they have English
Oh,
dubs.
so it's dubbed.
it's
Nice.
Okay, so I can
Whisper
get over
down to that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I
but
can
it's
get over that.
entertaining so far.
Okay.
I mean, I'm committed to it, so
Ragnarok.
see how it goes.
Ragnarok and roll. All right. Cool.
Well, so I actually haven't watched anything new this week. I've
At
actually
all?
no, dude. I've been binge watching Broad City.
Oh, you're still doing that? Okay.
You know what? Last time I talked about it, I said you could only do really 2 episodes. Well,
Yeah.
that went out the window after the
Ah.
first season because wow, it
That's
is
good, huh?
solid, dude. I can't stop laughing. It's so funny. Yeah,
And
so
remind
that's
me-
pretty much. Go ahead.
Remind me again, where do you watch this on?
This is on Hulu.
That's right.
So
Okay, that's
yeah,
why I
on
haven't watched
Hulu you can. I've actually been watching a lot of Hulu lately. I don't even look on my on my Netflix anymore. Hulu's been pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do want to throw a recommendation out there. I haven't watched it yet, but this is a recommendation from my very, very close friend Jimmy. Honestly, anytime that he recommends something, I usually listen, and it's usually pretty amazing. He recommended Showbiz Kids
Okay.
on HBO, and he said that it's hosted by Alex Winter from come on, Bill and Ted. Thank you.
Oh, Ariel Winter.
It came to me. But yeah, he says that it's really great and that it's a really fun watch. So that's something that I'm gonna probably look into this week.
Is it reality?
I think so. Yeah, it follows like childhood stars or
Okay.
like people who were childhood stars back in the 80s. And
I didn't know if it was like that Michael J. Fox movie from the 80s, or was it the 90s, where he was like the talent scout guy for kids.
What was that?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like in my head the other day. I'm like, was it Michael J. Fox in that one weird movie? It was like a talent scout or something. I don't know.
You know, he didn't do a ton of big movies after like Back to the Future.
No,
but
not really.
yeah.
So that's why I was wondering if this was like live action or if it was a dramatic take on that, because that's very interesting. Because a lot of these, child actors have grown up to live very destructive lives. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I feel like Alex Winter. Look at that guy, man. He's getting his big break. 30 years later? So good for him. So what's going on with you, Trevor?
So I got into the cycle with these shorts of talking about the same show because I watch things so deliberately. And I was like, that's no fun. So I was like, I'm going to watch some different stuff. And so I put on what some say is the greatest spectacle of human entertainment.
Oh, my.
AFB.
What is it?
It's Hamilton.
I know what it is. Okay.
It's Peppa Pig. Oh,
Peppa
Hamilton.
Pig.
Yes, that one
So
too.
you're just
Yeah.
watching Hamilton. You just saw it then.
I did just watch Hamilton, and you know me, I like to have hot takes. I hate things that are super hyped up.
Yep.
It actually lived up to the hype. I mean,
Okay.
they have actual
Look at Alex.
super fire verses and great beats and just phenomenal acting, amazing cast. I would have never been able to see it if it wasn't for Disney Plus, because the original
True,
cast
right?
isn't performing anymore.
Right.
Broadway seats are insane, and then the wait was like 10 million years or something. So
it's really nice that they did that. That
It's-
Disney Plus allowed that.
Well, because they even did this way in advance too. Was it 2016 that this was filmed?
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because I actually watched it last Friday. I turned it on. I'll probably echo your sentiment. It's a lot of things get overhyped, and I don't think this was overhyped. It, like you said, it's pretty phenomenal. I did tune out about 45 minutes in. I realized I was kind of like droning on, so I don't know if it really held my interest. I probably won't like rewatch it, but like it's phenomenal. I mean, the guy is pretty great, Lin-Manuel. He kind of created a unique take on musical theater, but also history, the retelling of history kind of in his own way, which is really unique too.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you get to see it like I think probably back like in the 80s and 70s, people would have loved to not have to, fly out to like England or somewhere or New York to have to see something and spend, thousands of dollars to see a production like this. And now you get to see it on your Disney Plus. So that was pretty nice.
Shout out to Disney Plus. I mean, it's really just amazing.
I can see why people are like really into it. Like it definitely has that vibe. Like it has that thing that's like very memeable and like the characters that people can really gravitate towards. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, if you're like kind of like with me, I never thought I would actually see it. So I had listened to the soundtrack a bunch of times. So to be able to actually see it played out, it made more sense to me, the story that they're telling. You could visualize it. I mean, obviously you could visualize it and see it, understand the story a lot better than when you were listening to them just rap or however you want to say.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I feel like that's what kind of happens. I was kind of tuning out, and as I drifted away, I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics as much. But when you actually see it, you're like, oh, that's what that means, and that's why they're doing
There's
this.
just so much
There's a
packed
lot
into
going
those
on.
verses. I mean, they throw down so many words in such quick succession. You're gonna lose.
Like, how did he
stuff
breathe?
regardless.
I have no idea. I think my favorite part of the whole thing is watching Lin-Manuel cracking a smile like every 2 seconds. Like the guy is so giddy that he cannot keep a straight face for more than like a minute.
Yeah.
Which is like
Jimmy
kind of
Fallon
endearing.
on stage.
No,
Yeah.
it's different. He has more of a charm to him than
Yeah, anybody's got more of a charm than Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon.
let's just put it that it's kind of it's cute, it's like, all right, it's like it's kind of unprofessional in some ways, but really like it's kind of part of the charm of the performance,
Yeah, to take 8 to 10 years to write it.
right? He's
to
like so
finally
giddy.
be
He's
able
like,
to
oh,
perform
I'm doing
yeah.
it, like I'm actually performing my masterpiece in front of like all these people. Like you can tell he's like joyful of being in that
Enjoys it.
experience. It's kind of fun. Yeah. So
Watch
As
it
I
if
say,
you have
not-
Disney Plus,
my-
regardless of your hesitations or whatever. Just put it
Fine.
on. Put it on.
I'll
Do it
and
out.
try
Alex,
it.
I will say that it wasn't my thing, and I liked it. I'm not going to
You
probably ever
zoned out
rewatch
at
it.
45
I
minutes,
did,
so
I did, yeah.
all right,
But-
I'll at least give myself 45 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm glad that my wife watches it whenever I'm recording, so I don't have to worry about.
She's gonna
Oh,
keep
there you
watching until you
go.
watch it with her.
Oh no, she's a one and done. She's like, nah, all right, I'll go back to Beauty and the Beast at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well,
We're not
speaking
on-
of Disney movies,
Yeah.
I did watch the original Cinderella, the 1950 release, because
Okay.
I'm slowly but surely watching every single Disney animated movie. And by slowly, I mean I've only made it to 1950.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
Someday. It's been
I can't remember ever watching the Cinderella movie. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, I know for a fact I've seen Cinderella, but I do not remember a single. Like, I know the story of Cinderella, but I do not remember any of these animated sequences or anything.
Right?
Yeah.
Bippity boppity boop. Yeah,
Yep.
for some reason I can now it's like coming back to me, and I
Some
can remember
things do,
the
right?
three godmothers or whatever.
No, 3 godmothers aren't in it.
Three godmothers.
The three
you know, the three
stepsisters.
little fairy mothers.
Nope.
No,
There's
that
just
you're
one
thinking of
godmother
Sleeping
in
Beauty.
Cinderella.
That's
think
not
that's
Sleeping
Sleeping
Beauty.
Beauty.
That's
That's
Cinderella.
Nope. Sleeping Beauty has the red, the orange, and the blue.
Yeah.
Then what does Cinderella have?
Just she wears
The
blue.
fairy godmother.
Yeah, she's the
The
fairy
one with the
godmother.
One fairy godmother.
Oh!
She turns the mice into horses.
That's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
It's called getting old, Alex. I get you. Trust me. I
Oh my
understand.
That's why you
God,
rewatch
Prague,
this
this is
stuff.
this is what happens to you on a daily basis,
Yes,
Prague?
all the time. Welcome to my life.
Oh, dear
Yeah,
Lord.
and he's gonna
That's
have
bad.
a kid too. He's gonna forget a lot more things.
I know. Forget the name.
So, Prague, what have you been watching?
So mine's a little bit different than your guys's. Because I kind of finished Dark, probably too quickly. I probably stretched that out a little bit further. I did watch The Hamilton. So I went to the dark route. I heard a lot of things about this movie called Uncut Gems, and it's now available on Netflix. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll check it out. It's almost 3 hours long, which is why I wasn't
Jeez.
going to watch it at first. I was like, I put
That's
it
when I
off
get
for like a
bored.
week, but I decided to end up watching it. I don't know if it's a film that I could recommend to anybody.
That's weird
It's-
because
not
so
that
many
it's bad.
people love that
Well,
movie.
I know that's why I've heard a lot of good things, but it's one of those films that is almost hard to even describe. It's an A24 film, so it definitely has that indie weird vibe to it. But it's all, if you've ever seen the film Wolf of Wall Street,
Okay.
it kind of has that feel where it's nonstop craziness. So it's this nonstop commotion and yelling and sound.
it
Without
sounds
that much of a
exhausting.
plot. It is very
Exhausting,
exhausting.
yeah.
Yes. So I was
I
like,
heard that it's got one of the top, or it's one of the top movies for most swear words.
yeah, I would say there's a lot of swearing, but are you talking about Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I'm talking about Uncut Gems.
Oh, okay. 'cause
I
Wolf
think
of
it
Wall Street
beat out
certainly
a
does.
lot of like Quentin Tarantino movies.
Probably. So here's the thing. It almost numbs you to that though, because there's so much going on. It's so chaotic that you
Yeah.
probably aren't even paying attention to that they're swearing. Like it must have just washed over me. The whole film just kind of washed over me. It's quite the experience. I think if you're a fan of film, it's worth watching just because it is so different than any film I've pretty much ever watched. It's very out there. I don't know. It's almost felt like an out of body experience when I watched it. So at the end, I was all like, I enjoyed the experience of watching it, but I'm not too sure I loved it as a film.
Cool.
So there you go. Take it as that. And a very controversial ending. So it has
Oh.
that going for it too.
Now
It's
I
on
gotta
Netflix
watch it for the
now. Yeah.
ending. Excellent.
Oh,
Thank you,
this is
Prague.
cheap.
You
Just
had
fast
to
forward
throw
to the
that little
ending.
zinger in there.
Of course. I did like the music. If there's anything I liked about was the sound design and music was really well done in it. And then the other thing I watched, I actually finished it almost in, I think, 2 nights, was that documentary series Filthy Rich on Netflix. that Alex, you said that you had watched.
Remind me what
About
that. Oh, is that
Jeff
about
Epstein?
Yeah, the Epstein.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way: I don't know if it's necessarily worth the watch unless you don't know anything about his case.
That was my thing. I knew nothing. So
yeah, I didn't really know anything either. So I was like,
got
oh,
me up to speed.
God. It was very cut and dry. There's nothing special about the actual documentary style. Like, it's not like one of the great documentaries I've seen. It's pretty much just the survivors' accounts, pretty much, in the trial that he went through. And that's about it. So if that sounds interesting to you, I know. Spoiler alert, he's dead, so it didn't quite go to trial. So
you didn't give any time in between your spoiler alert for people to tune out.
Sorry for those of you who don't read the news.
They tuned out after 5 seconds.
That's what I did this week. So it's a little dark. I need to cheer myself up with something else.
Well, one thing also, besides movies, I did just want to mention that I finished Ozark season 2. And last we talked, Prague said, I think this is my favorite season. And I finished this thing and I was like, they lost every single best part of the original season. It's just not that good.
You didn't like season 2?
They ruin all of their storylines. They don't have any really... They get rid of all of the like shocking moments because now they lead musical scores into what their shocking moments are going to be. Like there's abrupt changes in season 1 and season 2. They kind of are leading you down the path to everything that's happening. Like I liked the first 6 episodes and then it fell flat for the conclusion.
I think what I was paying more attention to that season was more the performances, which I thought were pretty phenomenal that season. Like out of all the seasons, season 3 has like one of the best performances, but I think season 2 had kind of the best from everybody in the cast, if that makes sense. So I think I was kind of more looking at that standpoint because I really liked watching not only that, but also where the characters went that season was drastically different than the first season. So that was kind of fun. So, yeah.
Honestly, it's been so long since I've seen that season.
You're like, I don't even remember what happened.
I finished the 3rd season, and that's what's fresh in my mind. So,
Yeah, and the 3rd season, I think, is great, too. You might not like it, but I liked it. I had some issues with some of the 3rd season, but I really enjoyed, as I said, one of the particular performances of the 3rd season as well.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, outside of TV and movies, for myself, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to social media, which I'm sure you have. Lego, Lego, I guess accidentally leaked a photo on one of their international accounts of their Nintendo Entertainment System that they're coming out with. So they said, screw it, just break it everywhere or show it everywhere. I guess they had like this little teaser trailer that they showed first. And then they accidentally posted something outside of the States, and then it just exploded. And now they're like, all right, whatever, just release it. And now they've got this Lego Nintendo system, which is beautiful. This is like the first Nintendo thing that I actually want to buy.
Is it cake?
Oh my God! Oh, have you seen that?
If we're talking about social media, that is all that's trending right now.
Have you seen the video of the kid who's watching the cake, and then all of a sudden he's like freaking out, and he grabs his pillow and squeezes his pillow, and it turns into cake. And then he takes his soda can, and he's like, "No!" And he squeezes the soda can. And
so
it
it's
turns
not a
into
kid;
cake.
it's like a
He grabs his butt, right? Like
and then at the end, he grabs his butt, and it turns into cake, and then he eats it. Yeah.
It would have been funnier if you were like an actual kid freaking out or something. And
well, I would call him a kid. He looks like he's about 17 years old.
No, it's not a kid. Never mind. I thought you were talking
That's
about
how
like
old Alex
is.
You know you're old when you call 17-year-olds kids.
All right, you know what? I think it's official then.
Prague's been calling 17-year-olds kids for at least 17 years.
At least.
But yeah, the whole cake thing is amazing. But yeah, so back to the Lego. This is the first Lego thing that I've actually wanted to buy, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it is really freaking cool. The TV actually has like this little spin thing on the side that actually plays the game. I don't know, man. It's blowing my mind, and I want it. It's supposed to sell.
I thought you were going to say there's going to be a new Nintendo Switch or something coming out.
No, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's made entirely of Legos.
That's great.
Was it like
Just
240, 250?
Whoa!
Wait, what?
It's like 240 or 250.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
it's looking like it'll retail at
Yeah.
250. But dude, I think it's almost worth it. I'd
That's
do
like
it.
that Stranger Things set is like that much.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for it to
Crazy.
drop in price at Stranger Things.
It's still
It's like 300. I was like, I don't like it that much.
But it's so nice, man. That
300.
thing is so
I
clean.
have no place for it, so I'm like, yeah. No, it's
Did you
pretty
guys
cool.
see anything else on social medias?
Not that was like
No.
too pop worthy. I mean, the only other thing, because they're gearing up for Comic-Con, so I think people are being kind of quiet right now until
Yeah.
next week.
Ooh,
Speaking
for
of
us.
Yeah.
It turns out that, as you guys know, we're bummed we can't actually go to San Diego and enjoy Comic-Con. But it
Except
turns
with
out,
Lauren.
since we have that extra time, we're going to host a virtual con, a Nerds Unite Network virtual con made by the fans, for the fans, complete with panels, interviews, artist alleys, all week from July 22nd to July 26th for like 12 hours a day. You can tune in to twitch.tv/Nerds Unite Network for all kinds of live content. Because guess what? Comic-Con, they're pre-recording everything. We're crazy enough. We're doing it all live.
We're
Yeah.
doing it all live, so we'll be able to take your
Crazy.
questions. We'll be able to take pretty much anything that you throw in the chat. And it's not just us. We've actually got a whole slew of other podcasts that are going to be joining us, including the Four Dorksmen, Geek Together, STS Guys, The Average Nerds. I mean, we've got a great network of people who are a part of this whole thing. There's going to be trivia nights. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff. So you can tune in at any time. What is the Twitch, Trevor?
Twitch.tv/Nerds Unite Network. So just, if you got that Nerds Unite Network, you're good.
All you need.
You're going to see us, and you're going to see a whole lot other fun stuff.
Yeah.
gonna
But we're
amazing.
very excited to be a part of something this big because, honestly, yeah, it's Comic-Con is cool. They're going to have their Marvels and they're going to have their DCs, but they're not going to have anything like what we have.
Yeah, it's gonna be raw.
That's
So
true.
I don't know.
Raw, unedited.
TMZ style.
But we're very excited about it. It's going to be really cool, man.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Cool. And at that, I want to do a podcast of the week. And my podcast of the week is it's a show called Nerd On. I just started listening to these guys like this week.
Oh, okay.
They've been around for a while. They're kind of like industry people, like in film industry, like audio engineers and stuff like that, and voice artists. But
Nice.
but they don't get into that type of stuff too much. But they, like I said, I've only listened to a couple, but I've fell in love with them. Their one of their latest episodes was all about reviewing a comic book called DC's Kingdom Come. And after listening to their review on it and just kind of what their favorite scenes were in the comic, I wanted to go out and buy this comic.
You should. It's great.
Oh, so you've actually read it.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Dude, listening to them talk about it, I was like, I need this comic now. And it made
Nice.
me want to start going out and buying more comics and
Okay.
start reading more comics. So
Nerd on, man.
yeah, Nerd On is that's my podcast recommendation of the week.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This secondary shorts was a little long. They were kind of like pantaloons. They were kind of like corduroy capris. But it's okay. Follow us everywhere at Secondary Heroes. Quick and succinct. Talk to you next time.
Peace.
Yeah.
DeLorean Wolfgang, roll out.